All righty, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of Bast Cast Radio. I am your host, Brian Carter. And guys, tonight, it's just me, man. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday with family and friends. And welcome back, man. It's great to be back. Hopefully by now, you guys have all had a chance to take a listen to the episode I did with fishing in the DMV. A great episode there. It was great to be on that podcast show, and he's got a great thing going on over there. So, but yeah, welcome back. Holidays, man. Busy for everyone. Everyone is out there shopping. Got brand new stuff happening around here. We're working on sponsors for 2024. So if you'd like to be a part of the Bast Cast family, just email me, media@thebastcast.com. Love to have you there. Working on schedules. I know we got a winter series going to be on Leesville Lake this year. So that's pretty cool there. We're done next week. Bast Cast Tournament Series wrapped up. I think we had 26 people qualify for a championship. Excuse me. And I hope everyone is able to make it out for the event. I don't know, man. It's just so much going on. Like I said, we got about 3 weeks here before Christmas. Then you get the week after, or like a couple days after, and then you get first of the year. And we're going to kick off 2024 at the bang like we always do here at the BastCast.com and Bast Cast Radio. So, but yeah, tonight you get to listen to me. Got a great guest on tonight, Mr. Mark Lassagne. He is the owner of Bass Angler Magazine. That's right, Bass Angler Magazine. And if you guys have seen here lately, Bass Angler Magazine found a need. And we're going to talk about that need and what he has done, what Mark's done, man, to fill that need out there on, as he calls it, the left coast. But yeah, guys, before we go, move on, man. We want to thank all of our amazing sponsors who have made 2024 a great season. And yes, the website, oh God, guys, thank you so much for being a part of that, blowing it up. It has been awesome. Conrad Brothers, Lynchburg Arms and Indoor Shooting Range, Angler's Choice Marine, Missile Baits, John Cruz. I think he announced his winner today for who's going to get to fish with him from all the great product that you guys purchased from Missile Baits clothing product. And SML Tackle Shack. Want to thank SML Tackle Shack for being our sponsor for On the Bubble for the Bass Cast Tournament Series this year. Gave away a bunch of gift cards and gave away some baits last week. So we should have some more gift cards for you guys at the December the 9th event. Please stick around afterwards, man. We love having you guys. Love getting to see you. And it is our final regular season event for the 2023 season. And hopefully I won't start saying 2024 real quick, but it just gets crazy because, you know, we're all thinking about Expo time. I am, because I have to put that on my schedule and, you know, where we're going to be. And the Bass Cast is going to be going to Tennessee. We'll probably be able to make it to Richmond. And my buddy wants to head back down to North Carolina again for that expo. So we're going to be around, shaking hands, talking fishing, and just hanging out with everyone. But yes, tonight, Mark Lassagne, Bast Cast Radio, and we'll be right back with the editor of Bass Angler Magazine. Mark, man, welcome to Bast Cast Radio. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and come on with us tonight and talk about all the stuff that you have going on over there, out there on the left coast. First, I want to dive into a little bit about you, man. Tell everybody out there who you are, and then we're going to dive into the magazine, and then we're going to dive into what you have going on now.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, man. I'm an old fisherman that, that fixed cars for years and years, and then got into the publishing business because I loved fishing. Got into the fishing publishing business. Started out as a calendar, turned into a magazine, and now we have a nationwide magazine.
Yes.
So Bass Angler, and here recently I started a tournament circuit, the BAM Tournament Trail, or Bass Angler Magazine Tournament Trail.
All right, so let's rewind the clock, man. You know, like I said earlier, off the show, off the grid, man. I love the magazine, guys. It's a quarterly magazine, by the way, chocked full of tips, techniques. He speaks to all the major anglers. A lot of major league fishing stuff in that daggone issue each and every month. We're gonna highlight that in a minute here as well. But you know, you said you start off as a calendar and then you decided to move it into a magazine. The magazine business ain't no show. Even back in early 2000s, magazines were starting to kind of, make their way out the door. What made you say, I want to start a magazine?
I thought I could bring great content to a lot of people, and I can get content from anglers that you don't find on the internet. And now, you know what? I mean, now it's the internet's more prevalent, but
Right.
back in 2010, it wasn't quite as much as it is now. So, it's getting more and more, but we still have a good viable source. We have a lot of anglers that we work with, and we really try to get the kind of stories that will help you learn something. I'll a lot of times what I'll do to find a story is that I'll find something that I have a problem with.
Yeah.
Finding catching fish in between a transition area. Well, and then let's talk to Kevin Van Dam or Ish Monroe or Iconelli or somebody that is really good at that. You look at maybe their finishes are really good in the fall, and you go, hey, he's really good at that. Let's get with him and find out what he's doing. And then we take all that information and pare it down into like a short 1,200 word story that somebody can sit down at breakfast, and really get something out of and learn something from.
How big was the first issue, man? How many pages was the first issue of that magazine?
The first issue, I mean, I think we had Ken Cook on the first issue.
That's awesome.
Great. Ken Cook was a great guy. And even though, Ken is a awesome elite angler, he used to write stories for me. He would call me and, hey, let's do this story. And he was really excited. And we did them. The first issue, I think, had 52 articles in it.
Wow.
Yeah. And, it would be hard to keep up with that, with printing costs and everything else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. We're down around 20 something articles, but that's generally about twice as many as most fishing magazines have. And our stories are feature stories. They're long, full, stories that when you sit down, you're really going to get something out of it.
I brought up a little while ago, a lot of your content comes from the major league fishing side of bass fishing. What made you go that direction, man? What kind of steered that? Because I've been getting it for a while now, and it's like, it's kind of all over the place, but major league fishing is the main spot for you.
We work with Bassmaster guys and we work with some other guys. Major league fishing is just really easy to work with.
Okay.
They've been really good about getting us images. I fished their tournaments. I qualified for the Tackle Warehouse Tour. This is the third year in a row. But now with the tournament circuit, there's just no time. I have no time to go back and fish it, even though I would love to. It just isn't in the cards. But those guys are just really easy to work with. And anglers are really easy to work with too. So that's it.
So anglers, you guys need to reach out to Bass Angler Magazine, man. Let's mix this thing up a lot, guys. We got the new NPFL that started a couple years ago. We've had a lot of them guys on the show. Awesome guy anglers. And it's a lot of great areas out there. And to help promote you, and that's what me and Mark both kind of offer here. He has a magazine. I have a website. I ain't a bass fish. I'm not the best bass fisherman in the world. I go when I get a chance. But we've both given you guys a platform to promote. And we're learning that now. I don't want to bring up the Jacob Fouts thing too much because everybody's been hitting it pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you got to promote in 2023 if you want to get somewhere. And a great way to promote, send a story to Bass Angler Magazine. Send a story to the basscast.com.
You're right. If like I get guys will come to me, hey, why don't you call me? I'm like, why don't you call me? Call
Yeah.
me, and if you got a story idea, call me and let me know. And then, if I think it's good, then we'll work on it. I'll have one of my writers call you, and we'll work out a story. So yeah, it's you find that there's, with any career, there's ups and downs, right? And a
Yes.
lot of guys will have those ups and downs. And if you're a pro angler and you're having a rough year, you're not in the top 10, so you're not getting that kind of exposure. A lot of those guys are reaching out to me, trying to get in the magazine. And even if they're having a rough year, like, Fred Urbanis, I talked to him the other day, and, he was struggling a little bit. I mean, awesome angler and catches them almost all the time. But, we all have those times where we don't catch them. That doesn't mean they're not a good angler. They don't have good information.
Right.
They can't pass along.
Talking about the bass side, Hank Cherry, I mean, back-to-back Bassmaster Classic winner. I mean, he had a rough year last year. I mean, a really rough year. So, I mean, it's guys, the opportunity is there to help promote you, your brand, your sponsors. And like you said, reach out to either one of us. And we'd love to have the content, because content is king. I mean, that's what keeps everything going. But if we all work together as a group, then, we grow, you grow, your dollars grow, and our dollars grow. And that's how it all works out. I mean, it's, it's a tight-knit family, ain't it, Mark?
It is. Yeah. I mean, we could delve into that for a while, but
yeah,
it's a lot of it's about building bass fishing. The more we build bass fishing, the more lures we're going to sell, the more boats we're going to sell, the more trucks we're going to sell, the more people in the bass fishing world that buy things, the more money that can trickle down. It's just like anything, the better a company does, the more money they have to spend on marketing, the more they can do for an angler. So it all trickles down.
You're 100% right. Because like you said there, guys, the more, the more numbers, viewers I get, more anglers I can sponsor, more, more charities I can give to, or youth tournament angling fishing, the whole 9 yards. Exactly. So don't forget about us, okay, guys? We are here for you and waiting on you. There's too many of you guys for us to pick up the phone all the daggone time now. You figure between all three divisions now, what are we, about 400 professional anglers pretty much?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, easily. And that's if you take the opens, get the Tackle Warehouse invitationals in, and then the Pro Series, the whole 9 yards. There's way too many people. The magazine itself, man, is there ever a time, a front cover that really stood out to you that you could say, I put this cover up? I mean, I see your back wall there. For you guys who are watching us on YouTube, please watch us. You got covers on your back wall. Is there one that you say, damn, that was like the greatest moment in Bass Angler magazine? Because I was a huge Sports Illustrated fan. I used to cut out covers and put them on my wall. Okay, guys.
I know. I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them up there. One that really stood out was Ike and Ellie. Okay. So, I really didn't know Ike very well, and I went to ICAST and I talked to him a little bit. I go, hey, thinking about putting you on the cover. We talked, and then we did a couple stories, and then later on I got him on the cover, and then we did some promo stuff together. He did some videos, and he's just was a great character. So that was pretty cool. We did a lot of stuff together. I have a cover of Aaron Martin's, a while back. That was a whole sad deal.
Yeah, we did a show with Aaron like right at the beginning of the sickness.
Yeah.
So, I was actually, it's crazy. I was sitting in a coffee shop and I did the whole daggone show, just the way things worked out. But is there a story? This is my last question about the magazine. Is there a story that, when it hit the press, it kind of made the magazine just kind of explode? We all have that moment.
I'm going to say I can't recall.
Okay.
There's not. So I'll tell you that I get this all the time. Guys will call me and I'll go, hey, you do this story, you're going to sell a million magazines.
I've heard that,
dude,
so many times in the last 12 years.
Yeah. I mean, we have I'm going to say every issue we have like 5 to 10 really good stories in there.
Awesome. Yeah. But, like you just said there a little while ago, I'm going to write you a story and I hope it's going to get me a sponsor. How many times have you heard that bull story before? Holy cow. A crap load
Yeah,
in my last
those
12
ones we
years.
don't publish. I'm going to
I
tell you that.
agree. I don't even mess with
And
them.
it's the guys that are like, hey, this is the best fishing rod ever. And if you don't use this reel, then and I'm like, dude, shameless plugs don't work.
No.
If you're using it and you like it and it works for you, by God, let's talk about it. I don't
I,
care if it's a lure or a fishing rod or a boat or a motor or what it is. If it's good and it's working for you, let's talk about it. But just to go, hey, you know what, that engine is really a great motor, because they're giving me 20 grand a year, whatever. That doesn't make it good. It's
right.
so we found over the years that we kind of cut those shameless plugs out, and really work towards just giving good content.
So over the last couple of years, like you said at the very beginning, the internet was just evolving when you started the magazine, and things have evolved as a whole. I mean, for everybody. I mean,
Sure.
we're light years away. I mean, 90% of my views now come from a cell phone. I mean, it's because
Right.
we call them phablets now. We don't call them cell phones anymore because they're mini tablets. But what has evolved with Bass Angler magazine over the last couple of years?
we had an app. We were one of the very first magazines to ever have an app. I think we were the first fishing magazine to have a mobile app. And we've got rid of one platform and we're moving to another. So we're kind of in transition, but we're moving to a new platform that's going to really enhance our app and our digital presence. So we're working, that's really where we're headed. It's I won't say print has been revitalized, but it's kind of like vinyl records. I mean, it's
Yes.
a classic thing, and you can't put you can put your iPad on your coffee table, but it's not the same as putting a print magazine out there.
Yeah, I'm old school, I guess, because I'm 50. But I still love print. I still buy magazines, that whole thing right there.
Right.
Because it's nothing like having the magazine in your hand and being able to read it right there. And then when you're done with it, you can share it with a buddy.
Sure.
That's the really
Sure.
cool thing about it. And hopefully they'll sign up for it as well. Uh, so let's move on from the magazine
Okay.
itself. And let's talk about what you got going on in 2024. You saw a need. Um, that's what this is all about. I saw a need, you saw a need. And after running the magazine for what are we like 13 years? What made you decide to
Yeah, 30 years in the publishing business, but
what
yeah,
made what
2010. So what is that? It's 14 years now.
what
So
so what
in the
made you
publishing
just what
business.
made you decide to jump into the crazy world of being a tournament director?
Yeah, that's
Yes. That's
it
you
it's a
really just drank
very
a lot. I mean,
crazy.
Kool-Aid,
It
yes.
is a crazy world, I'll tell you. A couple people said, "Don't do it, man. That's crazy. I don't know what you're thinking." Think I can do this. It's going to be great. There's opportunity. So there was an opportunity. Wild West went out of business, and I purchased their equipment. So
Okay.
I was thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be great. I didn't realize how much was behind it. Um, and let me back up. To run a tournament circuit is I won't say it's easy, but it's not that hard unless you want to do it right.
Right.
So you can take a shade, a backdrop, a chair, a printed spreadsheet with all the anglers and a cash box, and bring that all to the tournament and a scale, and then weigh everything and write everything down and do all that, and that's not that hard. And I'm not trying to discount anybody that does that. So don't get me wrong.
I still do it that way because I don't want to go the extra mile on it. I mean, I want to go the extra mile, but not the extra mile.
Right. But so I'm different, maybe it's the
Hey,
Marine Corps in me. I like things squared away. I want it perfect. I want guys at the end of the day go, wow, that was a good tournament. So to do that, you need a stage, right? You need the big stage, you need the trailer. And then with the trailer, you need the bump tanks. And then the bump tanks, you need
Yep.
the oxygen. And then over those bump tanks, you need shade, right? And then you need sponsors on that shade to pay for those canopies. So you got to have sponsors, right? And then you need to work with the city because you want the city to help finance this. And then you also need the city to help promote it to the news agencies. Right now, that's just that part. Okay, now you run into the scale, and then you have the scale, but you have to have a scale with a radio or a Bluetooth. So
Yep.
it goes up to a sign that the audience can see the weight, and then it needs to go into the computer system. So everything is squared away. So when you print the weigh slip, everybody's weigh slip, everything is correct.
Oh yeah. And that's another $1,000 because I have the turning scales themselves, the best scales ever made, and they're $500. And then you got to buy like I said, the digital board and the printer that comes with it, and
Yeah,
it adds up. It adds up.
It is. Yeah, I have four scales, and I think I might have to get a new one. There's a brand new one out there that's pretty nice, but like everything else, it's a couple grand, for that and the rest of the stuff that goes along with it. But you keep opening things up, and if you want to do it right, you need all this stuff. A release boat. I got a release boat, and they go, oh yeah, it's
cool.
in pretty good shape. But when I got it, it needed a lot of work, really.
Oh wow.
So, it's just kind of been one thing after another that I've had to do. Fortunately, a lot of the things I've done are one time, like one and done. And
Well,
then,
good.
like once we fix the release boat, we're good for, 4 or 5 years until we have to, work on it again. Trailer, you only have to wrap the trailer once, and, you get the computer system and you get the scale and all this stuff. A lot of that is all one-time costs. And then you build a website, and you have to do a website, and then you have to be able to take money, and you have to do auto credit card processing, and all of that has to be in one thing.
Oh
and then
yeah.
a database behind it. You have to be able to lay all the events out, and then deposits, and I mean, it gets really involved,
Yes.
versus going, show up Saturday morning, bring me $100 and you're in, and go fish. So we're not going to take money the day of. We're going to, it's going to be a couple days behind that. So to do all that stuff is just it's pretty complex to do it right, and to do a good job. And that's my goal, is to do it right, do a good job, make up a nice clean circuit. I want guys to come and fish and they enjoy themselves.
How many people you got working for you, man? How many people help you run this behemoth of an event?
I'm gonna say 10 probably right now.
Wow, you got more than the NPFL does right now.
Well, they've been doing it a little while, so they probably got it down a little better than I do.
That is crazy.
I know, I don't know him well, but I know Brad that runs NPFL. They do a good job.
So what's the ultimate goal, man? I mean, like I said, you've had a great magazine. It's had a great run. And now you decide to move over and run tournament series. And, I don't know your other backgrounds, but I mean, it's going to take a lot more time this direction.
I'm an old auto mechanic, so I'm learning all this stuff on the fly. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur because I own my own shop, but my own auto repair shop, and then I own a magazine. And now, the tournament circuit and the magazine are a lot of synergy together, because I can use one to promote the other. They promote each other. And I think I have a good magazine, a good reputation, so all that goes a long ways. And I really think we can do a good job with the tournament circuit. We're gonna pay back 85% on our pro-ams and the pro tour events.
Right.
We can talk about the pro tours, but paying back 85 on the pro side and the co-angler side. So we're gonna have a no entry fee championship where everybody gets a check. And we're working on some big sponsors where hopefully we can have a big prize for this championship. So it could be good thing. A lot of things are really close. I'm fortunate, that I've been in this business a long time. So even though I haven't put on an event, we still have a number of sponsors. We have Bass Boat Technologies is our main, our anchor sponsor.
Right. I saw
Great
that. Yes, sir.
company, great guys, and they build a great product. Also that all goes hand in hand. Man over there is great. They do a great job. So I appreciate those guys getting behind us. Bob's Machine is there. We got the power pole, we got, and there's a host of companies that are very close. We've only been doing this. We bought the equipment in July.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been very long.
Hasn't been very long.
We haven't put on an event yet, and we have some big sponsors. So I think that, that speaks a lot, loud for us. So that's I'm very proud of that fact that we have some great sponsors, even though we haven't put on an event yet.
So you're talking about you got Pro Tour. What other tours are you going to have in 2024?
I have a kayak tour.
Okay.
A Pro Am series, and then a Pro Tour, which is an invitation only. So you have to qualify for the Pro Tour. So the way we did it is that Wild Wax had an Apex tour that I was fishing. And okay. I love that. It was really fun. It was a great tour. So what I did is I took those anglers, and then I took the top 12 from MLF, from the One Bass circuit, and the Wild West circuit that didn't quite finish. I took the top 12 AOY from those and gave them all an invite to the Pro Tour.
Okay.
So
the tour is going to be how much?
What's that?
The Pro Tour entry fee, how much is that going to be?
$2,500 event.
$2,500? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad, and we're going to be paying back probably 20 grand for first place for every event. We're going to pay back 30% of the field versus 20%. And you know what? The whole crutch behind the Pro Tour is the amount of exposure that I can give these guys. So I know that, in order to come up with 10 grand worth of entry fees, it's nice to have a sponsor help you out. So, but to get that sponsor to help you out, you need exposure, right? You have to create content and exposure. So we're going to really work close with all of our guys. And I think where I'm above the rest of the tournament circuits on the West Coast is I believe that if you take all of the tournament circuits on the West Coast, combine them into one, my media reach is double that.
Right.
Double what they all are together. So my Facebook is right at 100,000. Wow. Our website is getting 25,000 uniques a month. Our emails, we have about 200 media partners like yourself,
yes,
that help us get the word out. So when, when you blast it out, like a few thousand anglers are going to see that. And now you extrapolate that out through a couple of different companies. Pretty soon, when I send a e-blast out for an event, it's getting out to like 100,000 people.
Wow, dude.
So we're getting out, so we're really getting out to a lot of people. And I think that that's, where we're heads and tails above the other circuits that are out and about here.
So as we were talking earlier, guys, in the show, talking about working with each other, because of the magazine, because of the contacts, because of the people, you're crazy not to fish this tournament series. I mean, win a couple, get interviewed. I'm not going to, I don't know how, like I said, he's learning as he goes, but, he's probably going to throw up a couple different angler interviews in the magazine, the winner for that event in the magazine. So it's going to be a lot of content. And like I said, the magazine, you can pick it up everywhere. I pick up my copy at the local, Barnes and Nobles. That's it. Took me a minute.
Barnes and Noble. Yeah, we have Barnes and Noble, Piggly Wiggly, Walmart, Safeway. We're in about 4,000 newsstands across the country. So we're out there quite a bit. So about angler exposure. So I remember we were talking a minute ago about anglers that are having a rough year. So the guy, let's take the Toyota Series Championship that I just went to. right? I practiced for it for 3 days. I thought I had them dialed in, right? I
Right.
mean, I felt really good going into that first day. I was catching them using a live scope. I was fishing trees in about 30 foot of water. I could use my live scope. I'm looking at my Garmin live scope down at a tree. I could see the fish down there. I could pitch out my shaky head, let it go. Oh, I watch it go right down on the side of the tree, and then the fish would go over and get it. I was like, this is easy. Guys are complaining to bite stuff. I mean, I'm getting like 15, 20 bites a day. This is pretty good. First day of the tournament, I caught one fish. So,
Wow.
things happen. But to back up, there's a story behind even the guys that aren't doing well. So I work with the guys that are at the top, guys that are in the middle, and guys that are not doing well. Because, with the tournament, you are basically carving out a piece of time and fishing that exact moment. And the guy that either adjusts or figured them out for that moment
Oh, yeah.
is the one that does well. So for me, I had them figured out. Had my blinders on and I was out on that, and that wasn't working, and I didn't adjust. Guys caught them way out off the bank. Some of the fish were out there already, but a lot of guys caught them way out off the bank doing, with the live scope versus I was live scoping the trees.
Right.
So, it just, that's what I was doing.
That's a big thing.
And it would work again, I'm sure.
That's a big thing we talk about now, is, getting spun out, concentrating on it, live scoping at 360 and, going all in and not being able to make those moves like you were talking about doing, and being able to make the changes that were needed, to get the win. And, like you said, talking to people on the bottom, I mean, every angler has a bad day. But the question is, did you learn from that bad day? And what can you teach someone else about what you learned that bad day? And that's what it all is. I mean, it ain't all roses. I mean, I've been doing this thing for 12 years here, and I can tell you, it was when I first started, it's two guys, they were on top. Later, they dropped off. Two more guys popped up. Now we got two more guys on top. This is in our local area. But that's how it all goes. I mean, it's not all roses. I mean, someone eventually figures it out. And someone's going to work hard. And someone's going to figure it out, and someone's going to work harder.
For sure. And you get into kind of a groove, it's like, like Hank Cherry won 2 classics.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he had a tough year. But because he had a tough year doesn't mean he's a bad fisherman or he fell off the planet. It just, sometimes, we're talking to Ty Al, and I think he was doing an interview the other day, and he was talking about, he goes, I had some of the best practices I've had in the worst tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just, it's hard to adjust, it's all about those decisions that you make. It's like when me for the championship, I went, and in the first 20 minutes, I caught one pretty decent fish. And then I caught a few more. They just weren't the right ones. They got to be 15 inches. I didn't catch keepers, but I did catch enough to kind of keep my interest in there. It just didn't work out. But sometimes there are times when you just have to grind it out. Yes. And you'll do that and work and catch those 5 fish. And there's times when you grind it out and you don't. So,
Omar, man, dude, appreciate you having you on. I don't want to take a lot of your time tonight, but you did have some interesting little tidbits you want to give us here before you left. Yeah, Bass Angler Magazine. Pick up a copy on a newsstand today, wherever you find it, or pull a little sticker out, a little piece of paper out, put your name and address on it, and mail a bad boy in.
Yep, or go to bassanglermag.com, subscribe now, sign up. We'll send you a copy here in a little while. We'll do another mailing list here in a little while. The winter issue just came out, but we'll do another mailing here pretty soon.
So I need to get to Barnes & Noble, pick up the winter issue. There we go. I heard it right there.
It'll be there soon.
Be there soon. All right, so let's talk about some of your sponsors and some of the people that you're going to be working with you in 2024, and making this a success and a learning curve for everyone. Because, dude, that's, huge. I couldn't do it. Let's just say that much. There's no way.
It's a giant learning curve. I had some friends come over on Sunday, and we flipped the trailer out, opened everything up, brought the tanks out, got the aerators out. It goes, uh-oh, we're missing aerator T's. We don't have the T's
Ooh,
for the
yeah, the
aerator. So
teas.
we need those. And there was all these things. Oh, well, this works, but that doesn't work. And oh, we have this, but we don't have that. It was like, how did they run tournaments with all this stuff and we're missing all that kind of thing? So yeah, it's a project, and I'm gonna do a test tournament, and it's not public yet, but I can tell you, it's
Oh,
gonna be at
cool.
Clear Lake, February 10th. I don't have the location exactly. Maybe Canocti Vista Casino, maybe Fifth Street. We'll see. I should be able to bring the trailer down there. I sent my permit off. I'm waiting for that to come back. But the date was open, was good. And I'm going to do a test tournament where I'm going to do a small entry fee. I'll do a team tournament where guys can come and, give me a little slack, because this will be our first one, where we're all, and, it'll be a few weeks before our first inaugural pro-am. So I'd like to kind of have things squared away and in good shape, before that. And so that's what we're going to do.
He's going to do a bar rescue, everybody. You know what I'm saying? He rescued a tournament series, and he's going to make sure everything is in line. My fiance loves bar rescue. And he's going to do the soft opening before the big opening. So make sure
There you
everything's
go.
working
Yeah.
right. So he did a bar rescue right there, everybody. He rescued a tournament series, gave you guys a great opportunity and a great way to promote you, your brand, or any other company that you yourself work with. And like I said, just making fishing better for the West Coast.
That's the goal. It's the goal. Get more people fishing, make it better, fun. I mean, our events are on like peak times where everybody's going to catch them. Every lake we go to, everybody's going to catch them. The pro and the co. Some of the lakes will be a little bit of live scope, but a lot of fish will be on the bank, so that'll be a good thing.
Mix and match. The tournament schedule is up already, right? Because I
It is
shared
up.
it's
Yeah, it's
up.
up on bamtrail.com or on the Bass Angler Magazine Facebook site. Got it up on both places.
So you guys go head on over, check it out, get registered, get signed up. Can they start signing up yet, or has
They
that
can
began
start
to?
signing up now. Yes.
You guys can start signing up, prepaying. I love the prepay thing. It was great during COVID. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of, it's nice having that. We kind of did go back to cash because a lot of the anglers here. But when you are doing something on a scale that Mark is doing, the prepay thing is where it's really at, and because that saves so much time and releases and all that stuff. It has to be filled out before the event. We still do that online here at the bastcast.com, but running the magnitude of a tournament series he's going to be running. And I already know a bunch of the anglers are going to be fishing with you, and you got some top-notch anglers as well. So, dude, appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on
Thank
the
you.
show. We love the magazine. Like I said, go check out the winter issue of Bass Angler Magazine. He said it'd be on the shelf soon because what do we got, like 2 more days in November? Then yeah.
Yeah, I heard a couple of subscribers are already gotten their copy. So if they
Ooh,
got their copy, it's already been sent out to the newsstand. So it takes them a little while, a
yeah.
couple weeks to get it out. So I'm going to say December 10th, right about when it
Boom.
should be up on the newsstands, and you can get it. Makes a great Christmas stocking stuffer. Get yourself a copy.
Is
Girlfriend,
that the front
friends.
cover?
This is the fall issue with
Oh yeah, it is.
Jacopo.
That's with it's who's on that issue? I was trying to think.
Jacopo
Yep.
Galeli,
Yes.
our Italian guy, MLF
Yes. I
Italian
got
guy.
to I got to meet him up on a Potomac a year. He won a Potomac. Yes, he won the Potomac event like
Yeah.
a year or two ago, and I got to meet him up there. So yeah, it was quite interesting. But yeah, dude's awesome. So we could talk fishing all night long. So
Yeah,
let you
cool.
go. Have a great night. Thank you for being a part of Bast Cast Radio tonight. Guys, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. Man, oh man, what a great thing Mark has got going on out there. Like I said, he said, he took over the Wild Wild West series. We all had that podcast on a while back. A lot of things went crazy out there. Mismanagement. It happens. It really does. We get excited. We build too fast. I was never in a hurry to build bastcast.com. It's exploded now. Thank you to you, all the listeners. But I was never really in a hurry because I wanted to make baby steps. And at the point where it got big, I wouldn't have those issues. I knew what was going on. I knew what to expect, and I knew how to handle the issues as they come. And that's something we all have to learn there as we go. But yeah, make sure you guys fish the BAM tournament series in 2024. It's going to be great. I wish I could go out that way once. I've never been to California. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've never been to the West Coast at all. I've never been past, what is it? I think I went maybe a few hours from here one time, and that was about it. So I love to get out there. I love to check one of those events out. Pick up the latest copy of Bass Angler Magazine on your store shelves today, the Winter Series. I love it. Great stories, great content, plenty of reading, lots of great tips, some great writers. I got to meet one of the writers at the Classic this past year. So that was pretty cool. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for being a part of the show. And guys, and don't forget, man, we're on every podcast network there is out there, man. So Google, Apple, iHeart, Alexa, you name it, Bast Cast Radio is there, as well as YouTube on Bast Cast Radio. Can we ask? Can we? Oh, see, it wants to talk to me. If you guys, please, can you do a solid? Hit the like button, hit the share button, and tell all your friends. We really appreciate you guys, and thank you all for listening. Thank you for being a part of Bast Cast Radio, bastcast.com. We're going to be back next week with another great guest. And by the way, if you'd like to be on the show, media@thebastcast.com. Love to have you.